Hi there, my name is Dr. Renee Thompson. I'm the CEO and founder of the Healthy Workforce Institute. And today I want to share with you a few tips on how to address 3 of the more common types of overt behaviors that we see in healthcare. I want to give you an overall goal for them. What are we trying to accomplish? Like, is it immediately stop the behavior, or is this more about heightening awareness? Is this coaching? Is this counseling? Or do you need to go immediately to corrective action? So with each of the 3, I'll give you that information. We're focusing on overt behaviors right now because it's easier to address. Always start with the easier behaviors before you try to tackle the more difficult ones like covert behaviors. We'll do that later. All right, the first behavior is cursing in patient care areas, okay? Happens all the time. People either curse in anger or they're just cursing in casual conversations. And I've talked a lot about this before. I've written about this. I even have a video specifically about this. But I wanted to share a couple of other things with you that I think will really help. First of all, your goal is to either heighten awareness if it's cursing in casual conversations, okay? Heighten awareness that people are cursing, even though they don't think there's anything wrong with it, especially if they've been allowed to talk like that before. You just want to heighten awareness. However, if it's cursing in anger, you want to stop the behavior. For you to stop the behavior, you'll use what I refer to as a visual and a verbal cue. So for example, timeout is my favorite one. It's easy. Timeout. You just dropped the F-bomb, in the middle of the patient care hallway. So you want to give a visual cue, timeout, okay? You're cursing, you need to stop it, and that's your verbal cue. If it's casual cursing in a conversation, do some coaching. Pull that person aside and say, I know, you're just having a conversation, you're not angry or anything, but I guarantee anyone who hears you curse, even if you're cursing while you're smiling, they may be offended by that. And if our patients and family members hear you talk like that, they may lose respect for you as a professional. And this is something that I want you to work on. Okay, so this is coaching. But if it's cursing in anger, this is corrective action. This is immediately, okay, stop the behavior, pull the person aside. We don't do that here, and this is corrective action. That should be a never event, cursing in anger, especially in a patient care area. Okay, so that's your first behavior. The second behavior that I want to talk to you about is any of your employees engaging in some type of physical or verbal altercation, like fighting, arguing, okay? Again, especially in the patient care area. Your goal in this case is just to stop the behavior immediately. And this is similar to the first behavior where you're going to give that visual or verbal cue, but you may need to kick it up a notch, okay? And actually break them up. Now, I'm telling you, this is not coaching. This is not, let's sit down, come together here. Let's sit down and talk about this. No. This is corrective action up to termination if there is actual physical violence involved. Now, something I do want to remind you of, because this does come up a lot. Many times when there's some type of argument between 2 employees, the tendency is to say, basically, stop that, come into my office, we're going to talk about this. That's actually the worst thing that you can do. Because when people's emotions are high, they're angry, their amygdala is fired up, they're not going to be able to think clearly. Their logical brain is kind of put on the back burner for a little while. So bringing them together will actually make the situation worse. You want to separate them, have them calm down, bring them, I would talk individually to each of them, and then maybe bring them in together. Okay, it just depends, and that's another conversation. Now, if it's a physical altercation, that's different. This is immediately being sent home, and like I said, it could be termination. So that's your second behavior. The third common behavior, believe it or not, is refusing to take an assignment. I'm not taking that assignment, and somebody's huffing and puffing about it, stomping about. Your goal is to clarify. Wait a minute. Are you saying that you're refusing to take this assignment? Okay. Are you refusing to take this assignment? You want to clarify whether they are or not, because sometimes people just, they just talk. If they say, yes, I'm not taking this assignment, then send them home. Call HR. This is corrective action. Okay. If they say anything other than, yes, I'm refusing this assignment, then you investigate. Find out if there's a valid reason. Now, you and I both know that some people refuse an assignment over and over and over again just because they make decisions based on what's best for them. They don't want to take care of certain patients. Well, guess what? When you work in this department, we all make decisions first based on what's best for our patients, then the team, and then ourselves. So this might be a coaching conversation that you have with this employee, but first find out, is there a reason that they're refusing that assignment, especially if it's someone who doesn't do that all that often. If it's someone who's a chronic complainer about it, you may need to be a little bit more authoritarian with them, okay? Like I said, it could be coaching, or it could be an immediate corrective action, send them home. Now, throughout all three of these behaviors, the one thing I want you to make sure you do, because these are overt behaviors that can have an impact on the team and patient outcomes, is that you want to make sure you document what happened in the conversation that you had with your employee. Make sure before the end of that day, before you go home that day, you document the incident and what you did about it, okay? Because if you have to build a case or you have to refer back to it, you'll have that documented. You cannot use your brain as a file cabinet. It will not remember exactly what happened. Trust me, okay? We all think, oh, I'll document that later, and later comes and you forget about it. And then 3 months later, you're like, oh yeah, what happened? You don't remember. Make sure before the end of the day, you document. All right. I hope these tips help you to start addressing disruptive behaviors in your department. You have important work to do and have no time for any of these shenanigans, especially these overt ones. So I just want to tell you how much I so appreciate your dedication and commitment to cultivating a healthy workforce culture. Thanks so much and take care. Bye.